See, now that's how it was supposed to go, according to the poetic artistry of the moment. Wow, Sam, you're such a big old giant. I'm going to have to get my slingshot out. Oh, babies, we're living life in the rock and roll lane tonight here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network. Your ticket to flight in the middle of the night, ticket to the flight in the great daylight, babies. Oh, babies, and are we ever flying tonight? Higher than a kite. Oh, babies, the old heart is just a rolling out tonight, man, just a rolling out. Because the one thing this old baby inside of me never expected that I would expose that mother trucker. You know, thought it could always hide in here and I would keep it hidden because I'd be too embarrassed to let it go, too embarrassed to let it be seen, you know. Well, that's a valid premise, man, and it works, but it comes to a point where that no longer makes sense. You know what I mean? That may have made sense at one time, it don't now. I'm letting it loose, baby. I'm getting out of this stuff. I'm stepping into a whole different way of being. You know, I'm getting in more than what you call balanced harmony. I'm merging, babies. You see, what we're really seeing here inside of myself. Now, if you just tuned in, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to catch up with the story as we go along. Okay, just roll with it, baby. You'll be all right. So what I'm starting to realize here that I'm seeing inside is the three faces of God, or the three faces of creation. It's always triangulated. Always is, man, you know. And there's resident me, who is this spirit here of the divine nature. There's resident B over here, who's like, you know, the divine nature of darkness. And there's resident C over here, which is the divine nature of the mother, feminine thing over here, you see. It's all three of them right there inside of you, you know. It goes 1, 2, 3, one in front, two in back, one on each side, you know. It's the old, I know you've seen the Egyptian portrayals of it and others, the two snakes up the sugar cane there on the medical emblem, etc. You know, you've seen the symbology of it. They're serpentine energies that live inside of us at certain beings here anyway, certain beings and presences, and I'm one of them, you know. And because of this, I can speak authoritatively on the subject, and therefore I'm doing so. Because I can do it from the heart in the way that nobody else can. Because I live it, you know. And I think, you know, it's just time for that to be given its just due and honor for what it's been, and to let it become again one part of us, and not a separate element, not a long-lost brother that we have to come looking for and digging out of the muck by going into it ourselves, you know. That was a journey, babies, you know. Life was not meant to be created in that density, and I don't think we'll ever do it again. You know, I think we've learned our lesson here. But old grandfather, you know, is in that being too, and I could not leave that being behind. It's a part of my essence, you see. And I can't just kill it off and bury it. I was cautioned against that early on in this journey, in this lifetime. Don't kill this thing, you know. You got to deal with it, Coyote. You got to live with this thing. You got to love it. You got to learn to love it. You got to learn to keep it in a container, etc., until the time was right. When we could, and I thought I was done with all of those elements until that day we rose up to the top of the ziggurat, and I realized I wasn't so God-blessed peaceful after all. Ooh-wee. Wow, but I still had the essential peace. That never goes away. Oh my God, that's what gets you through experiences like that. When you face things like that the first time, wow, the shock is just, I mean, whew, it's beyond belief, man. And without that central piece, that essential piece already in place, I don't know that I'd have lived to tell about it. I might have chosen just to croak and go on to that eternal sleep, because it was just, oh man, to face this inside of yourself and to know it as an operative part of your person, to acknowledge that, and to know that you've done it for ages, that it's been with you always, and then to see all of the torments that it's brought you through. Wow. Now, let alone, I mean, that's the personal aspect, and then you see everybody else's. And then you feel personally responsible. I mean, it's horrifying. You know, I mean, you know, it's like the weight of 10 billion worlds on your shoulders, man. I mean, jumping jahoobies without having made an establishment at different levels with this before I came to it at that level. I couldn't have survived that moment. I really couldn't have. I would have expired. I couldn't take it. That's too real, Now I could. So here it came, and at just the right moment too, that it sure didn't seem like it to me, man. It's caused difficulty in my life ever since. Real difficulty, But babies, worthy of it. It's a journey, man. It's like, wow. So, I'm just going to keep going back in there again and again. I've got the assistance of some great people out here, don't I, babies? Man, I tell you, when you guys open your hearts, you rock, and I roll. And then you rock some more, It amplifies. We magnify one another 10,000%, This is what we got going on right now, babies. If you're not feeling it, open up, grab on, babies, hang on. Whew, it's a worthy journey. It's some beautiful light and life here, some beautiful love going on. Now, I know we're talking about some difficult subjects, and not everybody can relate. If you can't, I'm sorry. And please, go listen to it somewhere else. And babies, if you're in the flow, hang on, baby. We're going places with this shit. Because I'm coming to levels of understanding I haven't remembered, let's say, in a long time, babies. And it feels very real tonight. It's felt very real all day. Been a difficult day to get through, but very real. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. Very real, very difficult. Wow. But yeah, maybe I didn't leave the house much. But babies, I traveled the whole damn universe and then some. You know what I mean? Oof. It's one of those days. Round and round you go, man, But, I stick with what I know. I stick with my heart, babies, no matter what's coming at me and where it's coming from. Because I just sit here and it's like, I'm a target. Here comes from this way, comes from that way, comes from that way, comes from that way. I mean, it has a lot of approaches. There's a lot of movement out there that wants to slow us down, to make us unsteady, unstable, unworthy, whatever the case may be, unwilling, unwilling to go the distance, man, get us to fall short. Once again, we've been close before, babies. But this time we've made it. We've built it in ahead of time. They couldn't stop it because they didn't see it coming. It was Koyote medicine all the way. We designed it that way, babies. It happened like 25, I think it's 25 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, was the main switch flipped. And ever since then, believe it or not, we've been rolling in the direction of this ascendancy. I mean, I know history may not say that, but if you follow the energetic flow and then look at history, you'll see it. It's plain as day. Right away. But just how we had to go through our 2010s worth of darkness, all of that crap that started before 9/11. I think the year 2000 was the quietest new year I'd ever seen in the history of time. I happened to be at a party in a place where they were watching a big screen TV with, had a satellite hookup and had New Year's from all the big cities around the world, New York, Paris, London, Rome, all of those places, and big European stuff. No, but this was worldwide. I mean, they had it in Shanghai, they had it in Tokyo, and they had it in, Brisbane, I think, of all places, someplace down here in Australia. It wasn't Sydney anyway. But anyway, it was like, wow. So I watched it happen. I mean, through as the party was progressing, I'd duck in and watch it 5-10 minutes and go out and play a little bit. Wow. It was the quietest New Year's I'd ever witnessed in my life. This lifetime and probably in many, many lifetimes. Because we always party. I mean, people always party New Year's. Always, No matter what day of the year might fall on, whatever that is, they always party, So it was really amazing. And people were partying that night, but it was just really subdued, compared to where, I mean, the fireworks were going off and stuff, but it was like empty. It was like, oh shit. It was like shallow. It was like you couldn't even hardly hear the booms. You know what I mean? It was so quiet. I know everybody thought Y2K was going to crash the computers and the world was going to come to an end, but that didn't happen. But that was part of the quietness there. Everybody's kind of holding their breath about that. I wasn't. I knew that wasn't going to happen. What a stupid idea. Shit. But anyway, that was an amazing indication. I didn't really realize what it meant. I didn't realize the world really was holding its breath, because we were stepping into a great big old dark pile again, and we all knew it. You know, George Bush had just been elected, and he's going to be president here in just a few days, and it's like, oh shit, what does this mean? Well, the day after he got to be president and put on his little bomber jacket and went out there, started reviewing troops, I knew there was a war coming. There was no question about it. This guy was bloodthirsty as all get out. I mean, you could see it. You could see his vampire teeth growing out like fangs, man. And Cheney, we won't even talk about him. Him and O. Henry, man, they should be, they probably do. They're probably shacked up together. I'll bet they are, man. I'll bet they're lovers. Same vision, same face. So we had to go through that, and then we got, this new guy, but nothing changed, I mean, it seems now, from that side of things, the material side of things, well, hell, it can't help but get better, because it's about as bad as it's ever got. I mean, I've never seen such a lame world in my life. You know what I mean? This is kind of as disappointing as the New Year's 2000 is to watch what's happening here in the surface world, and how the governments and so forth are handling it. Not, it's really like everybody's just like trying to turn their head and run, the other way. It's and in a sad sort of way too, because it's a chaotic thing. It's not organized. There's nothing real about it. It's just an old system falling apart, and it's kind of sad to watch it happen. Really, because for all of its shit, it had some benefits and blessings in it. And people were of service to one another, sometimes involuntarily because of it, but. It brought forth a lot of good things besides all the heinous crap, That just goes with the turf when you start to make value judgments on things and stuff. But that's something we can talk about some other time. But just know that in the reality of truth, the one where we've always been living synchronistically underneath the surface, well, that's now becoming the surface world. See, and that's why this world is kind of sputtering to a halt. There's not much life left in it, to tell you the truth. I can feel it dying even as I sit here talking about it. It's dead and gone forever. And thank God for that. It brought up the most noble sides of ourselves. It made us into incredibly durable beings that can take just about anything. And look at the maximum darkness in this being that I'm dealing with, and imagine that person's reality. If this is divinity that had to go that far down, babies, wow, imagine how far up. Now, we become as we unify in the singularity of heart and no longer think, see, or feel ourselves as separate beings anymore, but emerge as this one person that we are, gathered and joined in the triad that we truthfully are, babies. The reality of love, personified in the grandfather, complete with all of his equipment. He's learned better. Now he knows. His vipers are seasoned and tame and loyal to the utmost extreme, man. I mean, this is part of them I'm still dealing with, getting the gnarly out of them, My God. Oh, these sons of bitches are afraid of every freaking thing, and they got a defense for it all, too, man. And it's perfect. I mean, it's perfect. You can keep the world away. You can keep everything away. If you use those facilities, they're certainly available there. Wow, what a hard-ass attitude. What an insane place to be. To realize even that part of your consciousness could experience life in that way. It's like, takes your breath away, man. Yet at the same time, I can look at it and I can love it for that. For just being a little weakling, that has to have a guardian for every fucking thing. It's so afraid. What's it afraid of? I mean, what's the harm? What is the harm that's going to come to it? Love is going to kill it? I doubt it. Love doesn't kill. Love rearranges. It takes you from the bottom, brings you to the top. Because that's who you are. What you always craved inside. That's your truth. I mean, that's just the way it is. You are that God. Simple as that. What you always fought against was yourself. That's the revolution right there. You see? That's the end of all heartache and pain. And the beginning of the age of truth right there. When God recognizes God in each other, when they see it in each other, know the truth of their reality, that both are the same person, all three joined in one union of harmony. Yeah, babies. And that's what makes him Santa Claus, you see. He's a little light. Santa's a little bit Jesus and a little bit devil. But he can't do anything wrong. He loves the little kids and gives them free toys. And he lives in this magical place at the North Pole, man, that's right there by the gateway to inner Earth. So he's got access to all kinds of fine helpers. And babies, they turn out the shit. I mean, he's got a good life. And he's loved by all. And he doesn't have to be hung on a cross. Nobody'd even think about doing that to him, let alone her. I mean, she's sexy, man. Foxy as all get out, I mean, you got to think about it. The old dude's got it going on, man. He don't got to change nothing. He already has. And if he does, it's magic. We do it. Santa Claus already come to town, babies, and he's hanging out. Kind of likes it here, man. Bring me another martini, please. Oh, and a really fine doobie. Thank you very much. Oh, yes. Must have a doobie. If you don't have your doobie, it doesn't make your day, baby. Doobie, you can play all day and have a good time, man, Well, down the old ranch house, we used to sit around there at 5 o'clock in the morning. We'd smoke at 8, between 5 and 8 in the morning. Then we'd go to work after we drink a gallon of coffee. Just get you up and running, man. Some environments are like that energetically. You can live like that in some places. This was one of them. It was just kind of like Prestone here in another way, but a very high vibe place. So you could live a high vibe life like that. It was kind of fun, really. It's like living on another planet for a while. Wish I could have stayed there, man. It was like paradise. But oh well, here I am in paradise again. Who am I to complain about anything? I just roll with it, baby. Same as you do. Same as we all do. And we're all starting to recognize that we're in the same boat together now, aren't we, man? Ain't nobody any better than anybody. I mean, if God, if that energy we know of as God, Great Spirit, creation, if it can take its male side and stretch it to such great extremes, and then find itself once again, you got to remember how long lost this ancient brother in the serpent is. I mean, it's since before the beginning of the earth. I mean, way before. That falling away was quite some time ago. It took us this long to devise somehow to get out of it, and get it all back together again. And then it took the human experience to help it happen. And now you see what planetary ascendancy is, or begin to see it at the very least. It's the union of all tribes, all energies, all persons, in complete harmony with all that is. Inside of you, first and foremost, aided and assisted by the grandest of angels, whom you come to know personally now, and begin to experience as the true angelic form of yourself that you are. Reflects back to you this way. The angels that assist are you. And they journey at your request. At the request of your heart, do they go forward and carry you forward, or whatever? I mean, we're in divine union now. It's a different state of being. It's taken this much to achieve. a difficult and motherfuck of a journey. And forgive the language, but that's exactly what it was. And you could never go to the mother. Ever. She was gone from your heart and you would never see her again. And bless her sweet soul, oh well. You know, you do what you gotta do, you go where you gotta go, and you be who you gotta be. I saw that vision today too as they flew her away. And I knew it would be just ancient, ancient times before I would ever see that being again. And be willing to even be partnered with her in any way. You know? That's my dark side, that's my one side talking, but it's like that, you know, I mean, this is what made it so dark. And so deadly, and so pissed off at the world. You know, why I had to come in these other lifetimes and contain it. Even as the Dark Lord, I contained it. That was the whole idea, was containing this energy until we could get a handle on it. That was the entire journey of humanity, babies. That's our experience here, to tame the dragon. I think we've done it. I think we're home now. We're so damn close our heart won't let us avoid it. So just hang on to your green genes and let's see what happens here. But inside of me, I'm seeing a union of this triangulated energy. But still it's formed in a pyramid with love as the supreme energy coming in from above, or from all sides, but as a strong being from above. You know? And energizing the rest of the person. That's our spiritual umbilical cord. That's our connection with all existence. You experience it through the top of your head, your crown chakra, which is now being opened to the maximum, so that you can begin to remember. Now you'll be open and willing to receive of the energies of truth. There's been a danger for you to receive before this time. You couldn't handle it, and therefore we would not allow it. That's why there's been some extension in time here. You'll forgive us. It happens. But here you go, babies. Now this opening is completed, and you will begin to journey far differently than ever before, because you will be experiencing now in what we would call the divine way, you know, which is kind of happy and carefree, you know. In other words, the whole world's going to lighten up for a while. We're going to party and play and have a good time as the rest of this just kind of falls into place. You know, enough of this. You soldiers, put down your weapons. Government people, walk away. Everybody that's not in service to anybody in a real way, get yourself in service to one another, however your heart directs. But let's rearrange this world. I mean, come on, babies, just listen to your heart. You know? Let's start doing something besides tick-tock, tick-tock, huh? Let's go rock, 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 rock. Rock and roll, walk and roll, whatever it takes, babies. Just get in the flow. Let's go. It's time for some real harmony now. It's time for some real partying and celebration, you know. I'm sure I've got some finish-up work here to do inside of myself. But babies, you know, that's the grandfather tale. That's my existence in service to humanity. That's what I've had to do and be in myself in order to come as far as we have, you know. And babies, I'm not looking for accolades or anything. I'm just explaining the way it is, that, you know, so you know for certain that I can relate to any level of your life, at any state of your being, at any time. But you know I know, because I've been there, done that. You know, I've been stretched through it all. I've lived every bit of it with you, every bit of it. I feel it now in my center of existence. You know, and I still feel the cleanup crew at work, and we're going to be for a little while. And babies, just remember, it's taken a long time to get us to this place of being. So just hang on to your green genes. Whatever you think is happening, it's very real. And it's very understandable if you would approach it in these very honest and real ways, if you really face the energies that are going on inside. And then you'll learn to become friendly with them. Not only that, to bring them back in, to be part of them, to be them, to be part of you, you know, to experience that divine union with all parts of yourself, so you no longer feel broken and scattered in any way, but completely gathered together. completely present in that heart, in the same way that Santa Claus is. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, kiddos. Oh, come over here and pee on my lap and tell me what you don't want for Christmas, and I'll tell you how you're not going to get it, okay, kid? Get on over here. Let's have some fun. Ho, ho, ho. He lives a good life, man. He only has to work hard about 30 days out of the year. That ain't bad, man. Shoot, rest time he's down in Bimini or someplace, you know, with all them beach babes hanging out and partying, you know. I mean, it's a good life, you know. Santa Claus is coming to town, but he only hangs around for so long, you know. And he goes away when winter does, baby. Yeah, he can't stand it, man. He's got to be down there on the beach, you know. Oh, baby goes away when winter comes. Yeah, and only comes around those 30 days. Man, that's the only time he does wintertime duty. Otherwise, you know, North Pole, he's down South Pole partying, you know. But babies, yeah, we're coming back to life, you know. And again, I point out that, you know, the mother love, of course, being forced to extremes in other ways. She's held that oh, what do you call that? The flame of love. She's held that life and light for us. She's held it steadily. And, you know, even as I'm talking about it, I'm sitting here looking at the third face of God inside of myself in the form of my old buddy's lady over here on the other side of myself, you know. And she's being all like, that's about freaking time, man, you know. Because she's real quiet, but she's mean, you know. You got to watch out for her. Well, that's her form of presence. As she's reforming now, who knows? But I think she's a loving little darling, a great addition to our internal being as a third part of our person, you know. It's group hug time here inside the old grandfather, man, and, you know, everything's coming back to life. You know, I can feel systems kicking in that I ain't energized in a long time, babies, you know. I can feel just all kinds of loosening up going on. So I appreciate you keeping your energies and your hearts here united with ours and helping us get through this whole divine little joining, babies. And I figured we could do something like this. I didn't know what it would be, but I knew something would come. If I just got on here and started talking about and telling my tale, I knew it would come, you know. And I knew also that it was so closely related to this Santa Claus story because I watched a Leslie Nielsen movie last night about Santa who, and it was kind of fun. He fell out of the sky and had amnesia in a big city, and of course some kid takes him in and his parents, blah blah blah. It's a great story though, man. It was a kick in the butt. It just reminded me of the real life of the real Santa Claus, and I was like, wow. How comical, how poetic, how synchronistic, you know. See, there it goes again, babies. It all works together, and we're just simply becoming conscious of that, and that's what makes us into the superhumans that we are. You know, each and every one of us, a little baby God, coming back to life, willing and able to assist the universe in the most innocent of ways, in its conscious expansion as well. You know, what we transform here, we transform everywhere, babies. It goes out in waves and levels, and I can see the angels flying right now, taking out the word, singing their song, the song of their heart, the song of our heart, that liberation is here. All has gone as planned. The hearts are open now. There are no more closed hearts, and all hearts receive of this now. The journey in darkness is over. The journey in light has begun. Truth shines in the light. Love empowers it all. And babies, there you are. Be at home in your hearts now. You're finally free to be who you are and to allow your presence to come out. I know you've been hiding over there in the corner for a while, so, you know, it takes a bit to turn around and realize, wow, you really are free. The door is open, and you can walk right through it any time you want. You know? You just allow yourself to adjust into it as you will. But here it is, baby, the new paradigm, alive and born again within you. Yes, indeed, born again within you. As is the earth within herself. Be sure to register your copy of Ever present in her theirs too. Darn, I'm just not quick enough of the trigger to shut that thing off. Darn, I'm sorry about that, guy. I wish they wouldn't do that to me, but oh well. We're getting through it all right. Next time I'm on the air, I'm sure we'll have that fixed up, you know, something about the numbers. And so anyway, because it doesn't think it has those numbers, it keeps squicking that thing in on me every now and then, randomly too, so there's no predicting it, you know. And when it does, it kicks off songs and stuff. But oh well. You know, a small, minor little, what do you call it? I wouldn't even call it an irritation, but a small, minor something. If that's all I got to pay to be able to sit here and talk on the radio with you guys, wow, and play some rock and all that good stuff, more power to us, baby. Yeah, more power to us, man. So here we go. Let's stay steady here. Let's just let this flow blow and continue as we expand into the reality of singularity of consciousness, as your crowns awaken to the reality of your etheric connection through the spiritual umbilical cord with all that lives. Of course, it's within you as well. The entirety of the universe lives inside of you. You are its replication, is the replication of you. Each of you in your own way form this universe inside of yourself in the present being. This is why it's so easy to begin to understand the universe and now what we call universal travel, because it lives inside of us and its cosmic reflection is outside of us in creation. So if we need to be someplace in it doing something with somebody, bingo, we go. You know, you don't need Trans World Airlines or nobody. That's an old name, I know. You don't need that anyway. Don't need any of that stuff. Don't even need a UFO. Really, you are the UFO. Because you are a part of creation. You're in that creation wherever you go, wherever you want to go. And therefore you do. Now these little spiders are crawling on me. Well, that's strange. Now what's a moth? Thank goodness. Go eat some spiders for me, will you? All kinds of fun here at the old Coyote Studios tonight. Oh, baby, ain't this a hell of a flight? Man, I tell you, if we don't get it right tonight, it's only because we already did. Oh, man, I tell you, I'm just looking for something. Where was it here now? I got a good one here. I know I do, man. What happened to you here? You're hiding out on me. Oh, here's a good one for tonight. Yeah. Babies, it's Father's Day on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network. Tonight, we've been talking about old grandfather's flight through life, babies. Oh, my goodness. It's kind of a hairy tale, but it's a reality and a very truthful and from the heart one. And, babies, here we go. We got our new start here tonight, babies. And, you know, yeah, we're still working on it. You know, it takes a bit for these things to solidify into place, babies, you know, but we got some time. We can, you know, got the whole night tonight, babies, till 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern. Shoot, we've just barely begun now tonight, baby. Right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network. Your ticket to fly it in the middle of the night, babies, and in the gray daylight as well. Sold American. I love you guys. Take care. Talk to you in just a little bit here, man. Ooh.